up, baby? Episode 12.
What up,
Episode
Jay?
12. What's happening, man? We back to back.
We
You know
back in this thing, man.
Yeah, bro.
We about to get on a regular rotation.
Man,
I
don't do
feel
that.
it.
Don't do that.
I feel it in the air.
Don't do that, man.
We about to get on a regular rotation, Jay.
Nah, don't do that. Because what you going to do, bro, you going to say that shit and then look up next week. Man, Jay, I got 7 games.
No. I'm gonna tell you, I got about 2 more weeks of the regular season.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 weeks of postseason, and it's a wrap.
Yeah. No, it's time, man. Then right into summer ball, man.
Exactly.
Man, I'm so looking forward to summer ball. Ooh,
summer ball.
17U, baby.
I want to give a big shout out to Takia Johnson, multi-million-dollar producing agent at Mid-South Realty. I want y'all to give her a call, man. Give her a shout out if you're looking for a home, you're looking to sell your home, you're looking to buy your home. I'm actually a new homeowner, and she helped me with my new home purchase. So give her a shout out if you're looking to buy a home, or rent a home, sell a home, so forth and so on. 501-541-0055. Or you can hit her up on Facebook at Kiki Captivating. Again, Takia Johnson at Mid-South Realty. So listen, so y'all gonna be doing 17U this year.
Mm-hmm.
I've been noticing some people been putting some stuff out on social media.
Yeah.
About the possibility of bringing the AAU state tournament back to Arkansas. What do you think about that, Jay?
Man, would love to, but the thing is, man, we got to get people to buy into playing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's a great idea. People been kicking that ball down the field for a while. You know, there's been a couple people trying to do those tournaments. Man, I'm interested in hosting that. You know what I'm saying? Just putting that together.
What's stopping it though, Jay? What's stopping it?
Man, cats don't want to see each other. Like everybody want to say they're the best team in blank or the best team in this, the best team in that.
Right.
Well, what stops it is, all right, at some point in time, you got to put a date and a schedule together.
Yeah.
And then you got to show up and be there.
Show up and be there.
Like, nah, man, you know, it's a lot of teams that, you know, back in the day, guys would see each other.
Yeah.
You know, one, because, Reg, people weren't doing as much traveling.
That's real.
They are now. Right now, the world is smaller, man. You know, it's something, it's easy, and I don't want to take credit, but, you know, but a lot of the tournaments like the Real Deal in the Rock,
right,
Jamming for Jerseys, I think we were the ones that made St. Louis feel like next door.
Yeah.
That made Kansas City feel like next door. And Louisiana and New Orleans feel like next door.
Right.
To the point to where you developing those relationships. And then now guys are going to go play in their tournaments. They're coming back here to play in our tournaments and things like that. So now you lose sight of the guy that's in North Little Rock.
Right.
Or the guy that's in Fayetteville or whatever the case may be. And so, man, I applaud it. I'd love to see what happens when
I'd like to see it happen prior to the whole circuit getting started. Like, I mean, here's the thing about it. Because your younger age groups, they're developing their AAU teams now.
Absolutely. Yeah, now they're playing right now.
They're playing right now. Mm-hmm. Whether it be in some lower level type events or whatever, they're playing right now.
Okay.
So what's going to stop us 2 weeks out of state playoffs having a state AAU tournament? What's stopping that from happening?
I think that's too early because guys
before the circuit start.
I think that's too early because guys hadn't really got going yet. You know, in my opinion, I think it can happen because guys really ain't got going yet. And a lot of people, you know, it depends on where you're from because you got to remember now, these teams are getting kids from Memphis, from Louisiana. Some of these teams, like Buchanan's doing a hell of a job going out and getting guys to join that Hawks organization that I don't think we're giving it looks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Bill did a hell of a job, but his central thing was about Arkansas kids. But now I'm seeing, you know, Buchanan's going out and getting a kid from here, from there. And so now you don't know, you know, just because our state tournament is over doesn't mean theirs is.
Right.
Right. And so then
everybody wants to get
a week or two or three of practice.
When you put it like that, I can see where you're going.
Yeah. So now, and I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it can't happen. I love to see it happen.
Yeah.
I love to see that. As a matter of fact, I'm hosting the tournament this year.
Okay. Y'all hear that? Jason's hosting the tournament this year.
And I'd love to see it happen.
Love to see it happen. We can start there.
I'll send out a call to all these particular teams. I got the best venues. We're looking at the last weekend in May.
Okay.
I think that's all the way up to June 1st.
Okay.
I don't think there's anybody doing anything big.
Okay.
So now we can settle it.
We can settle it.
Yeah.
We could bring the smoke and figure it out.
We can stop talking about it. Matter of fact, I'll say this.
Okay.
I'll throw $500 to every team that wins that particular division.
Y'all hear that? So Jay's put it out there. I mean, like I say, people have been throwing little subliminals and stuff out. Social media, we've had a lot of traction, especially with the younger age groups. A lot of traction with some of the different circuits and that sort of thing, where some teams are getting together or putting some things together to do some stuff nationally. But why not start here in the state?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I believe in that, man. And I think, because I remember back when I hooped, right? There's nothing more that I remembered than trying to qualify for nationals, right? And they'd have RIP respect.
Now, when you say your event, you're talking about jamming.
No. We're probably gonna go ahead and retire the jamming mantra, right?
Jamming's going away. What we talking about?
And just moving into something else, you know? Because man, there's a gap, I think. And remind me to get back to Mr. Forrest.
Okay.
But there's a gap, I think, that needs to be put on, man. It's some quality tournaments need to be put together.
Absolutely.
Quality events.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm not saying it has to be the best of the best teams. Like the Jammins, they're gonna bring out, 5 of the top 10 teams in the nation. Right? But there's some teams around here that aren't the number 1 team, number 5 team in the nation. Okay. But they're respectable.
Right.
Like for instance, Northeast Arkansas, I'm sorry.
Northeast Arkansas.
Man, those guys up there with Nick Neal, and those guys around that area, that East Point City
Jeremy
area,
Burks.
that Blytheville area. Man, some hoopers up there.
Yeah, they got some players up there.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
they got some players up there.
And I'm pretty sure, talent-wise, athleticism-wise, man, they can hang with some of these guys, whether it be Central Arkansas, whether it be Northwest Arkansas. They just need the opportunity to make it happen. So that's my next vision of trying to figure out. So
that's what we're doing. So we're calling out. We want Northeast Arkansas to participate.
I ain't calling nobody. You ain't got to come if you don't want to.
We're looking for some of that Northwest Arkansas
respect
smoke. We're looking for some of that South Arkansas smoke.
Yep. Magnolia. They always got a group.
Dumas. You know what I'm saying? Monticello. Those areas. We looking for Pine Bluff. We looking for some of that. Barnett and them. We want some of that smoke.
Yeah, Barnett. And as a matter of fact, Barnett has a younger son, so I know he's still around the game at some point, man.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, man, last time I seen him, he was probably in the 2nd, 3rd grade. So, he's probably playing 5th grade then, knowing Barnett.
Got him playing up.
Yeah. So I know he's a hooper, man. And respect to all those guys that's doing it, man. But
then some of these entities around here.
Yeah.
You right around here. You say you want it. Why not come get some of it?
Well, sometimes a lot of people want to talk about what ain't happening.
Yeah.
What and that's because it's a hot topic. You drama sells, or just what ain't happening sells. Like, okay, so now it's out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's do something about it, right? Let's I think a $500 every division.
Every
wins,
division.
As long as the division has 6 or more teams.
Right.
And I think that makes a lot of sense.
Look, that can go towards some fundraising.
Man, no, that goes towards your next big event.
That goes towards your next big event.
Yeah.
That goes toward half a set of uniforms or something like that.
That goes to, because some of the higher level teams, respect, they have to pay for some. You talk about the out of town teams. They had to pay for some of the kids to come in and stay in hotels. They had to pay for traveling and stuff like that. So. I'm watching a good.
What we gonna call it? What you calling it, Jay?
I ain't ready for that yet, but it'll be something along the lines of state or something along the lines of that. I don't.
End of May, we putting it together.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Let's do it. I mean,
let's do it.
And one thing about me, and that's one thing I got to challenge myself. When I spent the last 4 or 5 years, what is it, 25 now?
Yeah.
Really focused in on that young man of mine, and my boys.
That's
and
real.
Really trying to focus in on that. And lost sight of some of the stuff that I was doing tournament-wise.
Right.
And at times I kick myself and say, no, let's get back to that because I think the state needs it. We need another, just being honest, we were talking before camera, man, we need another Kevin Miller.
We do.
We need some more people that's doing those things. And now no disrespect, because we have some people that are doing it, man. Big shout out to the Kayla Fletchers, or the Grady Majors, or
Kyle Sullivan, Sutherland,
Kevin McPherson, Nigel, Nick Neal, you know, those guys. Shout out to those guys. But we need more of those people, more people stepping up and pushing our kids.
That's real.
On the not just the local scene, but the regional scene, and then also, if we're lucky enough that voice is loud enough, even the national scene, because it's all about relationships. Once you get outside of Arkansas, you realize, man, these kids aren't any better than us.
That's real.
Like I can say I've seen some of the better kids in the world play, that are ranked 1, 2, 5, 12, and a lot of them I can pick out and say, shit, we got a kid in our state that's does a lot of that.
Does a lot of that.
You know what I'm saying? But he or she doesn't have the resources. He or she doesn't have the people backing, or the people backing them talk about, oh, that's a money grab, or this or that. Nah, man, just go play.
We got the talent here. And the proof is in the pudding, in the guys that, if you look up, especially within the last month or so, couple of months or whatever, the guys that are contributing at a high level in the NBA. Some homegrown kids.
But before we go there, and I know where you're going, but a lot of times, like, we'll see it. We see the talent. We see the talent on a day-to-day basis. But if we don't get them out of the state, if we don't get them in situations to where they're being tested at a high level, well, what happens is, like we talked about in the last episode, some kids, man, they need to get comfortable. And then you put them out there that one time in the 11th grade, that one time in the late.
Too late, almost.
Too late. And now that's the one time where they needed to be able to, I need to get comfortable. I ain't seen this. And so now they might not show as well the first time. Well, if you put them out there early, 5th grade, 6th grade, 8th grade, to where they can get comfortable and make the mistakes. Because, man, again, I've seen, you know, the best player I've seen this year, and I've seen a lot of guys, best player I've seen this year is Darren Peterson.
Yes.
Darren Peterson.
I saw him outplay. AJ DeBanster, who's supposed to be the number 1 player in the nation. I saw him outplay it.
The best player I've seen this year, and I've seen a lot of cats play this year. AJ is one of them.
Yes.
The best player I've seen this year is Darren Peterson. And listen, he doesn't do anything that JJ doesn't do. He doesn't do anything that, in a sense, Jacob doesn't do. And some of these other kids, like, you know, Spratt, you know, and this is, I've been getting some push. I've heard, I hear it. I got my ear to the street about who we're not mentioning and all that stuff.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this here. I mean, if we can go back, we can go back to some previous episodes. One of the things that I did say that I felt like that young gentleman was next in line of somebody that could go, you know what I'm saying, it got to it factor.
Respect.
Was Spratt.
But look, and this ain't about Spratt. We're just talking about him, so don't get it confused.
That's real, because we just talking.
Cats got to prove it.
Yes.
Right? Like, one of my favorite hoopers in the state right now is Junior, Lil B Cal. That's one of my favorite hoopers. But I give him a hard time. I give his dad a hard time. He ain't done shit yet. Man. Right? Like I was disappointed in him. I seen a video, and man, he doing some great stuff, but I think it was a cuss word or something on it. It's like, man, you ain't earned that yet. Right? And so, no disrespect, and I get it, you know, but there's a process and a growth that the kid got to go through. Right? And that's a great kid, and all those kids are going to say little words and stuff like that. But, man, I'm like this. Prove it.
Right.
They're doing it now.
They are doing it.
So, on our platform.
B Cal Jr. is doing it.
Yeah, no doubt. So, on our platform, what I'd like to do, we're not going to talk about anybody 8th grade and below.
Right.
Like, there's a couple kids.
I see where you're going. Yeah, they got to be able to done something.
Yeah, it ain't about your height.
Right.
It ain't about your height. It's about what you've shown. Like, can you get in some of these situations?
And that was your point you made. That was your point you made.
Yeah.
At that point in the season. That was your point you made. You got to do something.
They got to get into these situations, because we talk about what's supposed to happen, or what we think is going to happen.
Yeah.
But what happens when you 15,
right,
16, whatever, and now you playing against a 19-year-old? Because now, you know, you think about it. Some of these kids, 19-year-old. Because some of these kids that are seniors, they might have an early spring birthday.
Yeah.
So late February, cat might be turning 19, and I'm sitting
He
here.
A grown man, and
he a grown
you
man.
14 or 15.
And look, and he gonna touch you up. He gonna touch you up.
Right.
So now they're getting to the point to where now you've proven it. You've
Right.
shown that you can deal with the rigmarole. You can deal with because there's a lot of stuff that comes with it, Reg.
Yeah.
Like let's get into it a little bit.
Let's get into those two guys though. Let's get into those.
Well, not just those two guys. It's a couple more out there, but we can start with them.
Right.
Like there is some. Who you think you are?
Yeah.
That
Oh yeah,
on.
you gonna get from some older guys.
From some older guys.
Some guys that have done it.
And I ain't talking about your opponents.
Yeah, you talking about on your own team.
I'm talking about on your own team.
That's real.
I'm talking about on your own team, and now you got to deal with the junior that. Man, I was a sophomore and I played 8 minutes a game. I'm supposed to be starting now.
Yeah.
And so now you as a freshman coming in, and you got to deal with that. Your dad has to deal with the hating or just
That's
whatever
real.
the thing that it is, and everybody has to deal with it in their own fashion. And you got to be able to, even though you're dealing with it, you got to prove it.
That's real.
It's man, I don't even go to the same lunch with these cats.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't even see them until practice.
I don't even see them till practice. I'm in the ninth grade. I might be in a different building with some of these cats.
That's real.
Right? And I ain't for sure ain't driving.
That's real.
You see what I'm saying? And then so you got some of them relationships.
And then you showing up and coach hand you the ball.
Yeah. And then now they don't want to pass to you, or whatever the case may be. But there's been a lot of kids that have been good enough, but you got to navigate some of that. That bullshit.
You got to prove it. You got to prove it.
It's two sophomores over at Central that, I'm like, yeah, okay. But what happens when that 6A comes?
Yeah.
And it's one of them nights over at, and I'm just throwing a name out.
North Little Rock.
You over at North Little Rock.
Yeah.
And it's jumping. And it's hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hot in the kitchen.
Look, and them cheerleaders out. And the drill team out.
Yeah,
and they
it's hot
flipping.
It's hot in the kitchen.
Yeah, or you at Parkview and it's crazy.
That's real.
Right? And so now, us as dads, us as parents, we expect a certain thing, but they got a lot of stuff that they dealing with on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis.
That's real.
And so, it's a 8th grader over at Hot Springs.
Yeah.
I love family.
Oh man.
But I ain't gonna say his name.
Right.
Till you get to them.
That's real.
To the moments to where it's like, yeah, it ain't got nothing to prove to me. I ain't nobody to prove nothing to. But I just want to give respect.
Special.
I want to give respect and honor to the guys that are in the middle of it, that's doing it. And that 8th grader, hell, he's been on the road.
That's
doing
real.
it for years. And so
That's real.
as he explodes, yeah.
And like I said, I'm glad we're having this conversation because again, from when you said it, I guess I didn't gather what you were saying, and now you explaining it, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And then when you see it happen, because again, in those particular two kids' situations, their situations happen differently. And me being a referee and getting an opportunity to work their games and seeing some of the things that we talked about before the season started, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Brian Cal Jr.'s situation was a little bit different from Spratt's situation. Coach handed Brian
absolutely
exactly.
Absolutely
Coach handed Brian Cal Jr. the ball from day one.
Yep.
He was at the press conference.
Yep.
He's saying he's gonna run my team. How much more pressure is that on a 14 or 15-year-old kid that your high school coach tells you, yeah, you're the youngest, yeah, you're the most experienced, yeah, you hadn't played not one high school varsity game in your life, but you're going to run our team.
And you better believe it's an 11th grade point guard that say, you what?
You what?
Who? This? And so you got to fight through that.
Exactly.
And then also, too, hey, man, you got to, as a dad, you got to let him go through that. Because he got to deal with that 11th grade, 12th grade point guard that's saying, I'm finna show this cat.
Exactly.
Right?
And this is what I could say that I commend that young man about.
Yeah.
Because, again, that's a lot of pressure on a 14 to 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And he's, in my opinion, answered every single challenge.
Yeah.
Because he's their leader, and he's probably their best player.
Something like that.
Yeah, he's probably their best player.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he goes about his business. He's uncanny. When I say he's uncanny with the craftiness, and he's playing above and beyond what I thought he could possibly play at this level.
You give a kid a chance and you just see what happens.
Exactly.
Right. That the thing is though, and a couple more things before we move on from that. Like one thing with him is, and this is why, because kids are gonna do and be emotional, and I said that, but I'm saying, because his dad is said, man, he wanted me to, communicate and be a mentor to him. So I take those things,
That's
things
real.
seriously, right? And and I love his demeanor.
Right.
And so I'm saying it's certain things that you have to go through the process of getting to, and so he hadn't earned anything yet. Like this 9th grade splash is something. Now, what do you do now when you're going to your 10th grade year?
And you mess around, you have a growth spurt.
Yeah. And so now, do you think you all that?
No.
Do you get a feeling like, yeah, I'm done? Or do you get bored with success? Do you do things? I call it in my house. We call it getting fat.
Yeah.
Do you get fat? And so now, and that's not just
get
him,
complacent.
This is to a lot of kids that have some success early.
Right.
Or you're the best player in the 8th grade. You're the best player in the 9th grade. Who gives a care about being the best player in the 9th grade at Robinson?
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
It's, can you continue to get better?
Yeah.
And then going to the Spratt situation, man.
Definitely different situation.
Absolutely
Totally different
situation. Couldn't be any more different.
Right.
Right?
Two different scenarios, and it's an obvious difference in the scenarios, and an abundance of things could have happened with the situation.
Absolutely. I look at those kids. I think those two freshmen are just I think they're just as good as Jacob JJ. When they were freshmen.
Yep.
Right? The situations were different.
Right.
Spratt had the blocker and Wesley and those guys. Jacob, didn't have as much, but he had the Markalins and that group, Jordan Harris, they grew up with. But you look at those two, they're handling it well.
Right.
Like the Spratt
went into a very talented team.
Absolutely.
Played in the championship game last year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so now, because they might be 8 deep of really, really good, solid kids that played probably last year.
Yep.
And so now you as a freshman, you have to come in and you have to figure that out.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah, figure that out, man. How do I want to.
Coach didn't hand him the ball.
I'm used to shooting it every other possession.
Right.
Now, you got a big boy. You got to get that ball, too.
Yeah, that's real.
And then you got Elam, and you got Harrison, and you got, the Russell kid, and, those guys that are, man, they're not taking a back seat to you. And so, man, I commend it. I think that if you let your kid go through the process, you let your kid go through the process, like those kids, like I mentioned those 2 sophomores over at Central, Miller and Trey, right? Well, last year, they sniffed the floor a little bit. In terms of
Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon.
Brandon Wright and Trey Aline.
Yeah, my bad. I tend to say the nickname, something like that. But Brandon and Trey.
Yep.
But now, they went through the process of going through 6A, had some bumps and some bruises.
That's real.
Did well in some situations. And then now, this year, I didn't know how much the Luke coming back thing would hurt them.
Right.
In terms of their development. But it seems like they're continuing to go process it and make things happen. I hadn't got a chance to see them this year. Yeah. I've only seen clips.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about how
I need to get out and see them in person.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about how that situation is a little bit different, because if you remember, Coach Ross did a strategic thing last year. Yeah. He brought them freshmen up. Yeah. He brought Trey. He brought Brandon. He brought the Stewart kid up late last year. Brought him up and got him some of that varsity traction a little bit last year.
Get a chance to sniff what that looks like.
Yeah.
Feel them lights.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But in Spratt's situation, this is what I saw in his situation again. He goes into a very talented team.
Yep.
He's not going to be the man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't get handed the ball like Brian Carroll Jr. He was going to have to fit into a team.
Yep.
And one of the things that I think that really was a turning point with him is when they had a couple of injuries.
Yeah.
Burgess went down.
And Elam went down.
And Elam went down. Yeah. And you could see his game rise at that particular time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's really made them a stronger team.
Absolutely.
It's made them a stronger team.
I originally had Springdale and who else was that? Maumelle. And
Jonesboro.
Yeah. As the top teams, Bryant as the top teams. We'll get into that.
Yep.
But them losing those guys for a while.
Right.
Guys having to step up and fill.
They kept winning.
They kept winning at the pace that they were winning
They
at.
kept winning.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, man, I'm really interested in seeing how that's who put us out last year.
Yeah.
Was Ben. And man, we went. I think it was overtime.
That went overtime.
And
that went overtime.
Man, it was a dogfight. Right. And so, man, so we got our eyes on it, man. Really looking at it and really appreciating the game of basketball and the talent.
So, who are some of the hottest teams, Jay? We talked a little bit about it. We highlighted a couple players that, you know what I'm saying, some younger players that we've been kind of paying attention to or whatever. Who are some of the hotter teams that's playing really, really well right now that you feel like can make a run when with state coming up in a couple weeks? Regionals will start next week, then state.
So 6A, I think what they're doing at Springdale with Seeley and Jackson Conley. And
they've been injured too.
And
DJ Hudson.
DJ
Hudson's been out.
And they got.
I'm not sure if he's back or not.
Yeah, he's back. They got a transfer in from out of state that's come in. He's about a 6'4" guard.
Yeah. Light skinned kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they got my guy Cy Bates.
Yeah.
Right. He's Mr. Do Everything.
Right.
That's gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Right. Because
they're playing at home.
They're all junior seniors.
Yeah.
Something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson and Isaiah have played together since.
They complement each other really, really well.
They played together, since the second grade,
right.
first grade type stuff. Grew up together,
right.
So that was a match made in heaven.
Right.
I like them. I love Bryant. I love what's going on with them.
I had them the other night, Jay.
Okay.
It's a true story.
Talk to me.
They scored 89 points, and 3 guys scored 80. I've never seen that before in my life.
Okay.
3 guys scored 80 points.
Yeah.
I think Kellen, of course, Kellen's back. Kellen's been out with a thumb or wrist injury or whatever. Kellen led him in scoring. He had 32. Make sure my numbers are right. He had 32. I want to say RJ had 25. RJ Young had 25, and CB had 23. And I mean, RJ's 25 was the quietest 25 I've ever seen.
Man, he's always gonna be quiet.
It was the quietest 25 I've ever seen.
He's a utility player. Yeah. Man, golly, he get it done.
He knocking down the 3. He get to the basket. He blocking shots.
And he'll dunk you.
So that team looks like they're gelling now. They don't have a lot of size, but they got a 3-headed monster that, in my opinion, when it all come down to it, they're gonna be hard to beat, Jay.
Yeah,
they're gonna be hard to beat.
So a little bit about them. I said on the last episode, man, I'm a big fan of Coach A.
Yeah.
Right. He got a lot of talent over there.
Yeah.
When you add Kellen, I went back, and so Kellen's first game back.
Okay.
They played against Jonesboro.
Okay.
Big fan of Coach Swift, man. I always love.
Right.
So I think he's
gonna throw some junk defenses in there.
No, he's a chess matchup.
He is.
Nightmare. Like I think he's the best coach in the state.
Yeah.
And so I've always had an appreciation for his chess, the way he plays chess, the way his kids are bought in. To be just being honest, man, to be a white guy in that area where, and you look up and he got 90% of us hooping, and they play hard for him, and he coaches. He ain't. Man,
they play hard. They play hard forward.
I've only had respect for him.
Yeah, that's real.
So no, I watched the game, and I'm up there with a couple of friends, and we're nerds in terms of the game of basketball, and I'm watching because Kellen is coming out, and Debo is finna show everybody what it is and what's going on. Well,
you're talking about Kellen.
Yeah, Kellen.
Yeah. Debo.
Yeah. So man, he was a little rusty. Of course, first game back.
Yeah.
Talked to his people. Said he hadn't been shooting because of his hand. So man, he comes out, man, and he gonna make that thing go in the basket. It was a little rusty at first, and so Jonesboro was man. They were like, okay, we're gonna take advantage of it. And so man, it was a game. Like I remember Jonesboro being up for a while. And I remember this kid, man. Look, I had him second team all JayNReg preseason.
Okay, because we're going to have to go back. We got to go back and look at it.
Yeah, I had him second team, but it's going to be hard for me to keep this kid off my first team. I look up and CB, he took control of the game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, I ain't saying scoring. Scoring to me doesn't mean taking over the game.
Yeah.
It was a couple possessions where he went and got the ball intentionally, got everybody settled in, and went and made a play.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for him, but for team.
A winning play.
Yeah, when made a play for team. Like, and he did it in such a way.
We're talking about CB, right?
Yeah. Kamari B, man.
Yes.
And I remember watching, because, man, this game of basketball, it can be those egos and attitudes and this, that, and the other. And Kellen is a senior.
Yeah.
Right? I remember Kellen looking at him a couple times and going, my bad, or, man, I got you, or just giving them the nod of like, nah, I see what you're doing.
Right.
And so those things are the things I'm like, nah, that's winning basketball.
Right.
That's seeing past me. That's
right.
seeing that team needs to come first. And then also, too, man, when we get in these tough situations, I got your back.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, like I say, I mean, I watched them one game, and then I had their game, and they look like they're coming together.
Yeah.
Playing off of one another.
Because they already were playing
They play
together.
so fast, too.
They were playing together prior, too. But when you throw in
30
Kellen,
points.
When you throw in Kellen, he going to move. It's going to, man, the guys got to move around. Like, he's going to take up some space. But
that's a fact.
But you need
that's
somebody on the floor to
can settle that down.
To grease some of the areas that need to be greased, pause. But, man, I saw that in CB. Matter of fact, I talked, man, I had to make a call like, man, dog, I saw that.
Yeah.
And don't think people don't see that.
Don't think people don't see
that. Yeah, no, that shows you high level.
Yeah, because he does a lot of things.
Yeah,
he does a lot of things. He gonna rebound it. Coach A can run a play where he just post up a smaller guard. A couple times they did that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And so they played against the Southwest team. Scrappy Southwest team was in the game the whole game, and just a couple times they just ran some stuff for CB or ran some stuff for Kellen, where you just go get a bucket.
Can't do nothing about it.
Can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing about it. And they play off one another.
So that's that. We talking about 6A. We mentioned Springdale. We mentioned
Jonesboro and Bryant.
Jonesboro. Yeah. Who else in that 6A?
North Little Rock.
Yeah.
North Little Rock.
Yeah.
They had Jonesboro down, and I think they just kind of didn't make.
Oh, Claiborne.
Claiborne. Coach
Claiborne, I see what you're doing over there, man. Yeah. You brought AB back. You brought Ton back. Man, getting that energy, man.
They doing some good things.
Yeah, I see what you're doing, man.
They actually had Jonesboro down, and they were up double digits, maybe 8 to 10 points with a couple minutes left, and end up letting it get away. But they right there. They right there.
And they young too. Like Bun is a junior.
Yeah.
And they got a couple kids over there that can go.
Yep. So that 6A Central, Jonesboro is 8-1, Bryant 7-2, North Little Rock 6-4, Conway is 4-5, and Central's 4-5.
I like Conway too.
So they take the top 6.
I like Conway too.
Yeah, they'll take the top 6. So that top 6 right now looks like in Central and Southwest they right 4-5 and 4-6. It's almost like a 3-way tie for that 4th, 5th, and 6th spot. Conway, Central, and Southwest.
What is that? The West?
That's a 6A Central.
Central. What about
the West? You got Springdale, 13-0, Harbor's 12-2.
Harbor, yeah.
Fayetteville's 10-3, and Bentonville's 8-5. That's Bentonville. That's
Pennington.
That's Pennington.
That's Pennington. Yeah.
Shout out to Coach Pennington.
Yeah. So we didn't mention Harbor. Harbor's good.
Harbor's damn good.
And listen, that Mojo kid is good enough to beat anybody.
Exactly. He can give you a 50 ball.
You know who you remind me of? He's a little bigger than him though. And for you guys who've been around for a while, he reminded me of Sean Williams. 2016 Sean Williams.
Yeah. He's a little bit bigger than Sean.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's bigger than Sean.
He's a little bit bigger than Sean.
But temperament.
I think Sean shot it better.
Personality.
Yeah. Grittiness.
Yeah, man. Toughness.
Yeah, no doubt.
No
doubt.
Yeah.
And crafty scorer.
Yeah.
Both of them were crafty scorers. Yeah. Like Sean, people would always think of Sean as just a shooter. I thought of him more than just a shooter. He was a crafty scorer. Yeah. He found other ways to score. Now he could shoot that thing. He get hot. He hit 4 or 5 in a row, and he fading out of bounds hitting them. You know what I'm saying?
I've given him this credit, this props before. I've said this out loud before. Man, Sean was the best high school scorer I had seen at one point, and I coached Malik.
Okay.
Right? Like Sean put the ball in the basket at a high level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he run off 20 fast.
Absolutely.
So Harbor, you mentioned
Harbor, Fayetteville, Bentonville. Bentonville West and North Side are the top 6.
Spencer Brown over there with Fayetteville. love Coach P, man.
And that looks like that'll be your top 6 in that in that 6A because Rogers is 2-12 and Heritage is 1-11 and Southside is 1-11.
Yeah.
Northside's 5-9, Bentonville West is 7-6.
We ain't gotta get
yeah. What about that 5A, Jay? What about that 5A?
Man, I think it starts, man, with Benton. You know what I'm saying?
Benton, yep.
I think Benton is. I think they're the number one for me right now.
Right.
Man, they got size, they got athleticism, they got length, they got upperclassmen.
Right.
They also got younger kids that's gonna get out and play.
Right.
Man, I really love what's going on at Little Rock Christian.
Yeah.
With JJ and KD over there.
Yeah.
They've done some really good stuff. I think they got a chance if the ball bounces right for them. Who else you got?
Maumelle.
Yeah.
Maumelle's leading the conference. Maumelle's 12-1.
Okay. Yeah, I like Maumelle.
They playing well. They playing well. Out of that East, looks like Valley View is 10-1, Netherlands 9-2, Marion's 9-2. But I like
Marion all right now. Don't get it twisted.
I like that in that Central. I like Maumelle, Little Rock Christian, and Sylvan Hills. Sylvan Hills playing real well. They're 10-4 in the conference.
Yeah.
They're playing real well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got, like you say, Benton, and you got Hot Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget about Hot Springs. That 5A West, that Benton Hot Springs deal.
Yeah.
That conference is so talented that you may just have the champion come out of that conference.
Out of the 5A South.
Out of that South with
Benton and Hot Springs.
Benton and Hot Springs.
Man, I like Hot Springs. I like because they're another one of those teams, man. On the right night, it could be a problem.
Yeah.
Right, because
Jay can give you 50. He just had 50 the other night.
Yeah, but people don't mention this kid. People don't mention this kid. He's one of those unconscious. Man, hey brother,
I know who you talking about. I know who you talking about.
It don't matter if I got 3 fries in my bag or I got 27. Man, I'm gonna give you a problem tonight, and that's Jaja.
Yeah,
man, that kid, man, I've always had a love for that kid, man. He's undersized. Man, he did a great thing a couple years ago by getting on those weights, and now you can see his game starting to produce. He's doing stuff. I'm seeing him bully guys, getting the spots, and then he got a mentality.
Him and Jay play well. I've had their game several times.
Yeah,
they play well together, and I even told Josh this. It opens up having Jaja there.
Man, come on,
opens up the floor a lot to where, there were times when Jay was at Whitehall, the floor was clogged up.
It shrunk. Yeah,
the floor clogged up. With this Hot Springs bunch, he's got enough shooters to where the floor is not clogged up. It opens up a lot of things. And Jay is a willing passer. And Jay will give it up. And you leave Jaja open, that's a bucket. Then we forget about LeBron. You forget about who's running the team.
Yeah.
Who's actually getting people, kind of what you're saying with CB, who's getting people where they need to be, who's making those winning plays. You need a driver. You need a defensive stop. You need a rebound. I've seen him go get some huge rebounds.
He's LeBron.
Traffic rebounds.
Yeah, man, he a big boy.
Oh, man.
He's a big boy. He's just 6 foot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Huge rebound. Just go jump up over 3 or 4 people. Go get a rebound when you need a rebound. You know what I'm saying?
He's been that since he been a young boy, right?
So that team is battle tested.
Yeah.
That team is battle tested. You know what I'm saying? And you never know how the brackets shake out. An upset here, an upset there. Them in the championship game, I'm taking them.
Yeah. I look at a lot of the way I judge it sometimes is, man, who's your coach?
That's real.
Who is going to make sure thing is going the way it's supposed to be going? Who's going to get it under control?
Right.
Because we do know, man, these are 16, 17, 18-year-old kids.
That's right.
And sometimes, man,
emotion can get the
with
best
my girlfriend, or man, these lights are really bright, or just things go on that are out of our control. But who has the attention of those kids that can get it under control?
That's right.
And then also my second thing I look at is, man, who plays basketball for real? Who am I seeing working out? When we're in the gym, who in the gym?
Who putting in the work?
When it's not January, February, March. When it's June, July.
Yeah.
Who am I seeing in Texas? Who am I bumping into in New Orleans? What's up, Coach Jay? Or just those things, the ones that's been in those battles, right? On those Saturday mornings, 8:00 Sunday games, you know, just them situations to where, who know how to make them AAU breakfasts at the hotels, them waffles and all that stuff.
Josh got another body coming up too. 9th grade body coming up.
9th grade who?
Josiah Johnson.
Judah.
Yeah, Judah.
Yeah, Judah. Yeah,
Judah.
Yeah. I like Judah. I like Judah.
He's
I like Judah.
I mean, he's
Judah
an athletic.
I seen Judah.
He's 6'4".
Yeah, I seen him at the gym the other day, man. He is about 6'3", 6'4".
He's 6'4".
Yeah,
That's another athlete
I like Judah.
that has played enough in the summer that that stage is not going to be too big for him. I don't think.
Yeah, here's one thing I try to do. I try to be a truth teller.
Talk to me.
Right, to all that. Like, I love him to death. Yeah. But that's a different level.
It is.
We got to get him there to see what's going to happen, how it's going to happen. I don't like to put all that pressure on kids, saying to, like, you expect this out of that.
Well, I'm not saying that, Jay. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, if the bench gets short, or it's another person that you can add to the team. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Now, athleticism is going to travel. Yeah. Right? And then also, man, he's a great kid. Yeah, absolutely. Like he's locked in. And I think, from what I see, man, he can
go get a rebound.
He really wants to be good.
He can go get a rebound.
But then you also, too, like I said, you got to look at, man, you're talking about, you got guys that are now 19. Yep. Right?
That's real. Grown man.
19. And then, look, this matters. Yeah. Some of the guys that are playing, this could be their last game ever.
This is it.
I might not ever put on a jersey officially ever again in my life. Right. Kids will work you will see some stuff out of a kid trying to protect. Man, I want to play one more game. Right. That maybe a ninth grader might not understand.
That's real.
You see what I'm saying? Like a B Cal might not understand just yet. Yeah. Like, damn, I've been beating you all we beat you twice this year. Now we meet up with you in the playoffs, and you playing like Superman. Not that you making 30 shots, but it's like, nah, you sitting down and guard. That loose ball is mine. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, this might be that kid's last.
This is it.
You have to beat a team. We had some situations like that last year where we were in the playoffs. We played a team. We were young, 10th grade. Mark was probably the only junior or something like that. We're playing against all seniors. And first round, we up big. And it's like, man, you got to beat that team.
You got to beat them.
You can't, don't think you're going to just, they're going to go away.
And there's some X's and O's involved with the coaching.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, no, that was 9th grade year. Yeah. We got beat second round. Right. Because of that. You know what I'm saying? One of those Valley Views or something like that. They had 7 seniors. Mm-hmm. We were more talented than them. Yeah. But we had 9th graders that didn't understand. We had one senior, Addison, we put up a good show. Matter of fact, we were up. But we made some costly subs at the time, and man, they're not gonna go away.
That's real.
You gotta beat them.
That's real.
Then you gotta beat them again.
Yeah. And in that 5A South, it looks like it's a 3 or 4-way deadlock for that 4th spot. El Dorado, Whitehall, Lake Hamilton, Sheridan. El Dorado 8-6, Whitehall 7-6, Lake Hamilton 7-6, Sheridan 6-7. So
Pennington over there at Lake Hamilton still. Yeah.
His younger boys playing real well. Zane Pennington.
Zane,
Matter of fact, I got an opportunity to see his older boy that's at SAU. Yeah. I had him the other night against Harding, and he played well. Okay. They beat Harding on the road. Yeah. He made some plays.
Man, great coach, great system.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all those. I think 5A is gonna come down to Benton, Little Rock Christian. I think maybe Maumelle has a shot, but they have to have some things go right.
It's all about how that bracket works out too. You know what I'm saying? You might not want to see a Little Rock Christian in the second round.
No, you don't want to see.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see a Maumelle or Benton in the second round. You want to meet them in the semifinals or the finals.
You don't want to see a Marion.
Yeah, you don't want to see a Marion.
Yeah, you don't.
Nettleton.
You don't want to see a Nettleton. No, you don't. And I know, and I apologize. Yeah, some of those teams don't get mentioned as much.
Yeah, that's real.
But man, you don't want to see a Nettleton.
You don't want to see a Nettleton
early. You want to hope, man, they get popped early. Yeah, there's another Greenbrier. Yeah, man, they're really good.
Greenbrier.
Yeah, Greenbrier. They're 5A. You know what I'm saying? They're giving some.
But they're in that 5A Central.
Yeah.
They in the 4th spot.
Yeah, they're a new addition.
They're in the 4th spot in that 5A Central. Ain't that something?
I pay attention, Reg.
Yeah.
Pay attention, Reg.
So, Jay.
What's happening?
We talked a little bit about this, and this is, a lot of times we try to, see some stuff that's going on social media and try to, open up some discussion about it.
Talk to me.
I saw a situation that happened the other night, and as an official, it kind of made me feel a certain way when I saw the play. Mills was playing Fountain Lake.
Yeah.
And a kid that's close to you,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, that you coached in the
Family.
past.
Family.
So, like you say, you consider family, so forth and so on. Going up for a lob, and he pretty much got pushed out the air.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, he ended up landing on his arm and broke his arm. He's out for the season.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see the play?
Man, how many times did I see it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to see it. You know, yeah, man. Went to the hospital to be able to hang with kid and family.
Right.
Man, and much love to Kizzy and her husband and all them, man. You know, prayers for my guy Jody Bell.
Right.
Man, Zay was up there. Shout out Zay, his point guard.
Right.
And man, it's just one of them plays where it's like, man, what is that about?
It's not basketball.
Yeah, what is that about, man?
So for anybody, again, because like I said, I paid attention to the Facebook post, and I've seen some of the comments and that sort of thing. To anybody that does not think that that's a dirty play, I'm not sure what you're looking at. Yeah. And I'm gonna say this from a official's perspective. First and foremost, in the high school game, we don't have an opportunity to referee the replay. We have to referee real time.
Okay.
And I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying.
Please don't.
I'm not making an excuse. I'm saying we have to referee real time. And sometimes we'll miss what actually happened.
But that ain't got nothing to do.
Let me finish, Jay. Right. Again, we have to referee real time. We don't get a chance to referee the replay. Mm-hmm. Most of the people that have commented on the post, so forth and so on, have watched it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It is clearly not a non-basketball play. It is clearly a play that at the least should have been an intentional foul or a flagrant technical, because there was no play on the ball at all. Mm-hmm. And it's an unfortunate thing. Now, I don't know what was adjudicated in the play because I wasn't in the game. I don't know what was adjudicated. I don't know whether it was just a common foul. I don't know whether it was just a common foul, an intentional foul, a flagrant technical.
Yeah.
I will say this. At the level I do work, at the Division II college level, we would have had an opportunity to go to the monitor and look at that. And if we started out with a common foul, we could have upgraded to an intentional, what they consider an F1 in a college game, or a flagrant technical, which would have resulted in an ejection.
Yeah.
Clearly not a basketball play. At the minimum, it should have been an intentional foul, but at the most, it definitely should have been a flagrant technical, and that kid should have been tossed out of the game.
So,
in my opinion.
Let me be honest.
In my opinion.
Yeah, respect. Mm-hmm. I don't give a damn about none of that.
Right, that's real.
This is where so it don't have to happen in the game, right?
Okay.
There's replays, and I think this is one of the main reasons why it's being shared and pushed.
Yeah.
Is because there's a push towards the adults in the room to do something about it.
Yeah, that's a clear unsporting play.
We can't do anything about it. You know, friends, family, mom. You can't go and confront a 17-year-old kid on the floor. But the people that are responsible,
yes,
should make sure.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Should make sure that kid, that situation is addressed, not to my standard, because I don't know what you'll do versus what I'll do, but it needs to be taken care of. I don't need to go to Fountain Lake's game and watch him online, and that kid is playing the next game. I
get it.
I try to put myself in those situations, because and I try not to be as emotionally tied to it, because they're all kids, and kids are
young people.
Kids are gonna do
young people
stuff
that do stuff and make mistakes. And,
right.
Absolutely.
But there needs to be
accountability.
Something that's being held accountable. Yeah. Like, for instance, let's give you this. Jody's played for years. This is his senior year. He's leading the team. He's one of the leaders of the team, and they're on pace to possibly win state championship.
Absolutely.
Taken away. Hadn't committed yet, right? So now, does coaches slow down?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So these are real deal, real stuffs. You know, luckily he has some relationships with people that can look out for him and make some calls. But you don't know if that kid doesn't have these type things. What's next?
That's real.
And so again, I don't want to be emotional about it, but you can't help but because you see a kid working his ass off for a thing, doing it the right way. You ain't hearing nothing about Jody getting in trouble. You ain't hearing about no nonsense. Man, he hooping. You're going to catch him in the gym. Him and Zay and Hester, they in the gym.
They in the gym.
Right? And so for that to be taken away, and again, I'm not saying that kid, it doesn't need to be drastic, but it needs to be understood.
Should be some accountability.
It needs to be accountability. And also, coach, or whatever the case may be, I've heard some rumblings about, you know, some of the words and phrases that were said, you know, but I try not to get into all that because who knows who's telling the truth.
That's right.
But
that's
what
three sides to the story.
What I can see on the film,
yeah,
it's not a referee thing because again, you don't have a replay. We got it.
Yeah.
The coach has it.
Right.
The administration has it. Principal has it. The athletic director has it. So now, what are we doing now?
What are we doing now?
Yeah,
and how do we use it as a teachable moment? Because here's the thing about it. This would be the teachable moment to any kid that's playing the game of basketball. Because me playing basketball, me growing up, that right there was a no from the beginning.
Yeah.
A guy gets in the air, you don't take his legs out, you don't push him, you don't do any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If anything, you just get out of the way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you don't know and you don't understand the vulnerability of a kid when he's up that high, and any type of nudge or anything like that could possibly throw him off.
Yeah.
He could have flipped over and landed on his head.
Yeah, yeah. No, you in my opinion, because I remember a couple times when something like this happened. You know, fortunately they didn't get their season ended.
Yeah.
But I remember, you know, when we hoop, you talk about not playing. Well, of course, man, you got a coach that now he ain't going for it. He wants you to contest every shot.
Right.
So I get that. We're not playing.
That wasn't a contest, Jay. He didn't contest.
I'm not
anything.
saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you can the backyard play of let him go. That might not have been the conversation. That might not been seen well by your team.
Right.
But you go meet him at the top with a ball. You make a basketball play.
Basketball play. That's it right there.
Yeah, you make
what
a
you just said.
basketball play, right? And so because there's a respect to the game, I think that needs to be honored, needs to be communicated to, because we're all out here hooping.
And that would be my verbiage from a official standpoint. Because if we get together as a crew, which I'm hoping this crew got together again, I don't know. I didn't see the film past that. If we get together as a crew, somebody within the crew needs to say, was that a basketball play?
Yep.
And it's going to be a consensus that wasn't a basketball play. So we need to adjudicate the penalty based upon the fact that the kid never made a basketball play on a kid that was vulnerable from the beginning.
Yeah, and I don't think that the lesson is going to come from the referees at that point.
I'm just saying
to me,
the actual.
To me, I don't think it's. I think the bigger picture is that coach, that AD.
Right.
That if whoever is in charge over
that's
there,
not okay.
Having a conversation saying that's not okay.
That's not okay.
I seen the post from Coop talking about, you know, no respect for, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because apparently, according to, again, it's three sides to the story. Allegedly, there were some other plays that were, you know, of that nature. Maybe some rough play.
Yeah.
Some rough play being involved. Again, I wasn't there. I don't know. But that particular play, if it's anything like that, then definitely it was some rough play involved.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I had a situation early on with my 15-year-old, 9th grade ball.
Right.
That I put online. And it wasn't about, you know, it wasn't about me coming on the floor being upset and me getting honest, and you know, it wasn't about an uproar. It's just, you know, I put it out there online to just say, hey man, here's what's going on.
Right.
I try not to do too much because, man, life is happening, and hopefully something was said or done for that kid to make sure that doesn't happen again in the future.
Right.
I
saw that.
That's what it's about a lot of times.
Because again, when it's all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a game.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
There's a winner, there's a loser.
Yep.
But it's just a game.
It is, but we know. You know, I don't know if you know or not, but I'm gonna be honest, man. Some people hadn't won enough in life
Right.
right? And they can't take not winning, right? Especially I'm losing to you. I can't.
You're beating me.
I can't. My son is losing to you, and I can't deal with that. I'm about to bust and cussing, fussing. It's everybody else's fault. Yeah, I'm about to lose it, and I impute that energy into my kid or whatever the case may be, and then they take it and because all they know is my mama said, or my daddy said, and now we just hooping.
Right.
And you got to deal with that. Like, man, there's gonna be wins and losses, man. You got to be able to take the dubs with the L's and the L's with the dubs.
Well, that's unfortunate. Shout out to Jody. Hoping for a speedy recovery, young man. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot ahead of you, a lot of future in basketball ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? So keep your head down. You know what I'm saying? And keep grinding.
Yeah.
Get yourself back healthy. And you know what I'm saying? You never know what the future holds.
Man, you're gonna be all right, kid.
Yeah, never know what the future holds.
You're gonna be taken care of. You
right.
Good. You good.
Right. Jay, we was talking a little bit, just to segue, we was talking a little bit about this here. Some very, very talented young people that have come from the state that are making some serious noise at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
At the highest level. Namely being Khalil Ware. I think he was recently named the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nick Smith Jr. is doing some really, really nice things. Even though
he finally get a chance to start.
Yeah, finally got a chance to.
Yeah, and show really well.
Get a chance to start, and that's what it's all about for young people. That's what you need to understand. You got kids that are as talented as those kids that still have to grind. Yeah, you made it to the NBA. Or whatever your
That's just the start.
Yeah, that's just the start.
Yeah.
You got an NBA jersey. You still got to work.
Yeah.
You still got to work.
That ain't even a word, because now you're dealing with a 30-year-old that's not trying to give his job up, and he has 2 or 3, 5 kids and a lifestyle to maintain, and so now, it ain't nothing sweet. Ain't nothing sweet.
And that's a testament to those young people's parents.
Yeah.
Some of the coaches that they've had over the years. You know what I'm saying? Counselors, school administrators, so forth and so on. They've come a long way. Not just those two. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we said Khalil, Nick Smith Jr., Austin Reeves is doing some awesome things. With the Lakers.
Yeah.
Marcus Mark
on the biggest stage.
On the biggest stage. Yeah. On the biggest stage.
With the biggest player.
You got Daniel Gafford at Dallas Mavericks. You got Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams playing for Oklahoma City.
Yep.
I think Isaiah's starting.
Yeah.
He's starting. I mean, he's basically created him a niche and found he's another one that had to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Second round pick. He wasn't a high draft pick, so forth and so on. But he does have something that the NBA
has a specialty.
He has a specialty.
Mm-hmm.
He's a shooter.
He has and this is what I call it. He has an NBA talent.
Yes, there you go.
Right. He has a thing that he does that's NBA talent worthy.
Hey.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't mention Moody. You didn't mention Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Right. Let's not forget about the OGs.
Well, I mean, Moses, of course. Moses. Yeah. I think this will be an opportunity with the trade for Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, and stuff like that, for him to get an opportunity to kind of recharge himself and get in there and get in the mix or whatever. Bobby, of course, he's been doing his thing. He's an NBA champion, so forth and so on. And some other guys, man. Those guys should be role models for you young people that are out here striving to play at the highest level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm actually going to try to catch Khalil in a few weeks. I think they play Memphis on March the 15th. I'm going to try to catch that game.
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to see him this summer in the summer league, and man, sky's the limit for that young fella.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit for that young fella.
Man, athletic.
Because you cannot teach 7 foot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but have you seen him get off the floor?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He gets off the floor.
And then Miami Heat have done some things where they playing him and Adebayo together, 2 bigs.
Yeah.
So they're tinkering some things out as far as that. But that's what it's all about, getting your shot, man. They've had an opportunity to get their shot. You know what I'm saying?
and then also too, Reg, man, what you're not, I don't think we've done a good job of communicating is a lot of these kids weren't number 1, 2, 5 in the nation. No. Some of them were, weren't as highly ranked.
That's a fact.
One thing I do want to say, a lot of these kids, man, a lot of these guys, I don't want to say kids, you can see the father presence.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to be in some conversations with some of these guys, and man, they developed a small fraternity of
Right.
dads.
Dads.
Of dads.
Dads making a difference.
Oh my God, man. It's
making a difference.
It's beautiful. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's, the dads that, not all of them. I'm not saying that you have to have one, but it damn sure helps.
Makes a difference.
Right? You're looking at that list of guys, man, it's a beautiful thing. And again, like I said, I've been blessed to know some of them, and they've let me not in the fraternity in a sense, but just the conversation.
Miss Katrina would have something to say about that, because Miss Katrina's been doing it for Bobby.
Yeah, well, respect. And again, I'm not
exception to the rule. Miss Katrina.
I'm not saying that it's you have to have one to make it. I'm not saying that.
That's real. That's real.
Don't get it twisted, and people are gonna. Sometimes I don't even, because people are gonna find stuff.
They're gonna find something to say. No doubt.
So I know my intentions are pure.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm gonna ride with.
Absolutely.
But I'm just applauding some of those dads that that are there, that are present, that are making a difference,
right? That
are moving and doing the work, right? That
laying the foundation.
Some people don't see.
Yeah.
Like there's, and my kid in his situation, and he's nowhere near that. He's nowhere near NBA right now, but there's work that has to be done.
Right.
He doesn't have an agent right now, so that work has to be done. The things that people don't know about, things that
behind the scenes choices,
behind the scenes things and work and stuff that needs to happen, man. That's and then to be able to share it, with the people that are that are coming up behind you. I spoke about the BCAL and a couple of those other dads that have reached out. And again, I'm not saying my kid is anywhere, but they are asking those questions, tough questions, and then man, just following some of the blueprints of people before.
And Isaiah and Jalen and Austin Reeves and Malik Monk and Moses Moody and Bobby Portis and all you guys, you got to know that these young people in this state are looking at you all.
Yeah.
You all are their role models.
Yeah.
They want to do some of the same stuff that you all are doing.
Yeah.
So you continue to do what you're doing, being great role models, continue to be good citizens and do what you do and put on for this state, because they all do. I will say that. Yeah. They all do. Put on for this state. And these young people are watching. You know what I'm saying? And we watch it. We want to make sure we give y'all props.
And doing it the right way. And I
think
a little bit different. I hope that they're not their role models. I hope that their parents are the role models. Their mom and their dad are the role models. And the people like that we just named are people that they look up to. They want to be or fashion themselves in a way. I think the best households, in a sense, and this is my opinion, are the ones that the kids are looking up to their parents.
Yes.
Right. And then those people like the Moseses, they're the people like that can reach back and say, hey, look, I was in this situation.
Right.
I was right there. I played at Park. I did this at Horace Mann or blank, blank, blank. And you can see some of the goods and the bads.
Yeah.
And man, again, I'm blessed. Some of these kids are blessed to have relationships with some of those kids, and they're reaching back.
That's a hell of a list too, man.
I hear it from time to time. No, that list came about. That list came about because I was having a conversation.
Okay.
With my kid, and he was talking. He was talking to somebody from Florida and somebody from Texas, and they were all bragging about NBA guys from their state.
Right.
And so one kid was naming something, Texas wise, and they got to roasting about Arkansas.
Yeah.
Man, Arkansas ain't got. And so
he just didn't know.
And Jake's got the naming kids. He got the naming guys.
Right.
Damn. They like, damn, I didn't know. Yeah, he is from. And so
because Jake's is in Florida now.
He's in Florida.
You were saying that the kids are just jiving one another, so forth and so on.
What kids do?
And Jake's had to show.
Look, ain't no hoopers in Arkansas. Hey, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Jake's had to let it be known.
Yeah, man. And so now it's a beautiful thing. And so that sparked this conversation of, like, nah, we got great representation at the highest level. That's 9, 10 kids. We ain't talking about the Patrick Beverleys or the Anthony Blacks or the Ricky Councils.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
All you talking about the Arkansas homegrown talent.
Right.
But if you add those kids in, not kids, I'm sorry, I keep saying kids. If you add those people in, those men in that have Arkansas ties, we might have 15, 18 people in the league.
Right. Exactly.
Per capita.
We hadn't even dove into the ones that are making a major impact on a major college level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's from the state.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, it's not necessarily we walking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 5-stars through the door. We talking about kids that have to grind.
Yeah.
It's one thing about this state. These kids grind for what they get.
Yeah, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And it ain't to me, it ain't about stars because it's only one thing is gonna happen. You're only gonna have one star per team, right?
Right.
And everybody else, man, you got to fit a role. You got to fit a role.
Right.
Right. And if you don't fit that role,
right,
you're not gonna last.
But Jay, man, we've covered a lot of different things, man. You got anything you want to close with or whatever? We had another very, very interesting show.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we back. You know what I'm saying? Episode.
We're gonna be on a constant rotation, baby. We're gonna be on a constant rotation. I'm telling you, my season's winding down. You know what I'm saying? We got some things settled. We're gonna be on a constant rotation because I will say this here, like you said, you mentioned it too. I've had a lot of people. I run into a lot of people all the time, and the first thing they say is, "Dude, when y'all gonna when y'all gonna shoot another show? I ain't seen y'all out there, so forth and so on." Yeah. So I'm going on record. Couple things. Go on record.
All right.
We're gonna keep these shows flowing.
Yep.
And we're gonna get that state thing jumping at the end of May.
Okay, we gotta come up with a name.
We gotta come up with a name.
Yeah, man.
We want to smoke, baby.
Yeah, man. And this is to better the game of basketball.
Yes.
You know, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. Just I got a few things I would love to do.
Right.
But I don't know for sure if the state is going to
right.
is going to show up like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so right now it's a lot of things that I'm doing that are priorities.
Right.
That I'm saying, but dang, let's look out for the state in terms of the game of basketball. But we're gonna do that whether 10 people show up or 2,000 people show up.
So y'all got an invitation. You got an open invitation to get you some of this here. You're asking for it. Pause. Y'all got an open invitation to get you some. So it's open to you. We want it. What age group we gonna start at, Jay? What you looking at?
We're gonna do second through high school.
Second through high school. You heard it.
Do that. Boys and girls.
Boys and girls. You heard it.
Yeah, we're gonna be at some of the top venues here in the city, Central Arkansas, Benton, Bryant, Little Rock area.
Right.
Man, the same hospitality that we've always given with jamming for jerseys and all the inner zone tournaments.
We're gonna make it happen.
And we're gonna make it happen. And people gonna come out feeling like, they were appreciated now. Everybody ain't gonna win.
That's right.
So if you lose, that don't mean this tournament was horrible.
And there's some bread involved.
Yeah, it's some bread involved.
There's some bread involved.
Right. Well, and then even, and sometimes you have to throw bread in there to get people to perk up. Yeah. But it honestly shouldn't be about the bread. If we're talking about who's be about the work. Who's the best in the state.
Let's just get to work.
That's what we're going to do. So
be about the competition.
Yeah, for those upper level guys, I plan on bringing some scouts out to develop some relationships out of people that are movers and shakers within the regional and also national state of basketball.
Right.
Some names that you guys will know, and then some, to be honest, man, that you won't even know. You wouldn't even know. But I'm gonna tell you,
they'll be in the building.
They got some power to them. So man, I want to vow that for my state, for these kids, and then also just to make sure that we're continuing to push the game forward.
That's real.
I don't have a dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Just want to make sure that we are pushing for this game to continue to get better.
Let's make it happen, man.
It's on.
That's what's up. JayNReg, we're signing off, baby. I want to give a big shout out to Takia Johnson, multi-million-dollar producing agent at Mid-South Realty. I want y'all to give her a call, man. Give her a shout out if you're looking for a home, you're looking to sell your home, you're looking to buy your home. I'm actually a new homeowner, and she helped me with my new home purchase. So give her a shout out if you're looking to buy a home, or rent a home, sell a home, so forth and so on. 501-541-0055. Or you can hit her up on Facebook at Kiki Captivating. Again, Takia Johnson at Mid-South Realty.